The more I think about this, the more I think this outlet could be beneficial for me or not. Might help people who've known me a long time understand me better or not. I always get people who don't have the luxury of living in the same town and getting a chance to sort of hang out with me, I guess. There's that, you know. But before I start talking too much about Dokken under lock and key, something that occurred to me after I finished recording the last video that I added as a note, I said I'd probably address here. So sometimes when I talk in generalizations. Other times I'm really specific, but sometimes I'll use generalizations. Like if I say, yeah, a lot of people said, you know, like some people that say that, I'm not just pulling it out of my ass. I'm referring to like people I've talked to online, people I've talked to in real life. You know, I'm not just, if it's a statistic that is based on facts, I'll say, and according to this, if I remember the source, I'll source it. But if I say like for instance, I was talking about, you know, a lot of people talk shit about Dokken. I wasn't talking about like the world. I'm talking about people in my immediate vicinity, in my circle of influence or circle of friends, circle of life, whatever you want to call it. Those are the people I'm talking about. You know, whether it's via mailing lists a long time ago, message boards, you know, social media posts. There are circular conversations that pop up a lot, you know, with my friends. One of them is about George Lynch. Another's about Van Halen versus Van Hagar. Another big one, but it's not coming to me right now. If it does, I'll blurt it out like I got Tourette's or something. So, and if I say something, and this is specifically in regards to like several albums ago when I was talking about Cinderella, Heartbreak Station, you know, I said it had a couple of hits on it. I don't give a shit about charts, how many albums they sold, how well it did, whether your granny likes it or not. When I say, you know, well, this album had a couple hits, when I'm saying it, me, not the rest of you, but when I'm saying it, and I don't care if it doesn't fit your construct of how things are said, it doesn't affect me because I am telling you about me. I'm telling you how I see things. And if you care, cool. If you don't, well, that's cool too. You're the one watching it. I don't really need to talk to people who ain't watching it because they're never going to see it, right? So when I said something about, you know, Heartbreak Station, about, you know, it had a couple hits, I just meant there was a couple songs that got some radio play when the album first came out. I didn't mean that they soared up the charts or anything. If I'm, again, talking about facts or statistics, I will cite those as we go along. But, you know, I'm just an idiot sitting in a chair in a bedroom in the back room of my sister's house that has a pretty badass record collection. And it's one of the few things that I do take a little pride in. And I just like to share it with people. You know, it would be great if we could just sit in a big ass room together and listen to records and, you know, smoke dope. If you want to drink some beer, you can drink some beer. I'm past the point where it bothers me anymore that people are drinking around me. Used to a little bit, but not much. But, you know, that to me would be the dream, to have everybody that I like, that I want to spend time with, just all of us sitting together in a big ass room, listening to tunes, eating some snacks, smoking weed if we want to, drinking some beer if you want to. That to me is a good time. That sounds like a lot of fun. If everybody's gonna be cool and chill. We're not gonna talk about bullshit. That sounds actually pretty awesome. And if I had enough people to fill a coliseum, what the hell? I don't know that there's enough people I like out of the people I know that would fill a coliseum. I know a lot of people. That's not shame on me either. Pretty easy fella to get along with. That's it. I mean, if you have a good time sitting here watching these videos with me, then you probably have a good time hanging out with me. That's really all this shit's about, I guess. So I know some of my friends, miss hanging out with me and stuff. I miss hanging out with them. Some don't have the opportunity because they live far away. So this, like I said last video, gives you a chance to hang out with me again. So, but who gives a shit about all that? Dokken, Under Lock and Key. This is a killer album, man. I remember the first time I got this on tape. Do you have those memories where you don't just remember it, but you smell the smells and the whole game, I remember the smell of the tape when I opened it and the first time I listened to it. That's how significant this album was at the time. It's still a great album for me, but at the time, this was a good enough album for me to remember the smell of the friggin' tape. So, go figure. Because it's not like I was doing much more than sitting in a room by myself, not talking on a cell phone, or talking at a cell phone or whatever. So, anyway, let's get to rocking with Dokken. Got Pikachu. Stay Pika. Pika. She don't give a shit either.